I have now been riding the Triumph Bonneville T120 for 2 full seasons, and I wanted to create this video to talk a little bit about the bike itself and how I felt about it when I purchased the bike and how I feel about it now after 2 full seasons and 3,000 miles. It's not my only bike, but I did find myself this summer riding it just a little bit more than my other bike. One of the initial factors for purchasing the bike was the character of the bike and the way it rides and the way I feel on it. And after 2 full seasons, that pretty much stands true. The bike performs well. I haven't had any mechanical issues. I've enjoyed riding it. I've taken it on a little bit of a longer trip. Not a really long trip like some people do, but a couple 100 miles went. And the bike was good. And the bike performed really well. I think after 2 full seasons, I really got to know the bike a little better and kind of figure out some of its kinks. I did upgrade some fork springs, and that was a huge improvement. I played around with some rear shocks, but decided to go back to the stock ones. And I did get some boxes and played around with a couple of windshields. But overall, the bike's been a great experience when I'm not on it, and I get on it after taking quite a break. I find that I'm always pleasantly surprised. And sometimes I'm sitting in the garage and looking at it and wonder, well, maybe I should upgrade to maybe something a little bigger or something a little different, or maybe I'll go to a motorcycle show and try out a demo bike. But it still stands true to me that when I come back to the bike and take it for a ride, I'm always pleasantly surprised. Overall, my impression after 2 seasons is that the quality is pretty good, and that was something I was a little skeptical about because I've owned Triumph before, and they did have some issues. So for the past 2 seasons, the bike has been working really well. It's delivering what I was hoping it would. So I don't have any real complaints. There's been some things I've read about the bike, and some of them do have some issues that people have mentioned. I do have a neighbor who has an older model of the T120, and that seemed to have some of the brakes squeaking and a couple other issues. But as far as my particular model, I have not experienced any of that. It is a little bit of a smaller bike. I guess I'm 6 feet tall, so I do sometimes feel like I could maybe use something a little bigger, but I'm not complaining. I think a lot of the things I could tell you about the bike that maybe aren't positive or bug me would really be more of kind of pet peeves, as I would say. But there really isn't anything I can complain about that's pretty solid and has a lot of issues that I experienced myself, at least. So was it a good purchase for me personally? Yeah, I think so. I'm really glad I had it, and if I sell it, which I'm going to plan on keeping it for a while, but if I did sell it, I think I would miss it a little. I think it's got its own character, and someone in another video that I watched said that it's a gentleman's cruiser, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's definitely a great bike. It's got good character. It's elegant. I enjoy riding it, and yeah, there's other bigger, better bikes and built for different purposes, but it really depends on what you do. It does have some shortfalls because it is a modern classic and it's not built for everything. But for now, I would say that it's a pretty good bike, and I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks again for watching, and post some comments. Maybe you can give us a little more insight about your experience on your Bonneville.